Personally, I feel that Hell's Paradise has been a bit of a mixed bag so far, similar to the recent Chainsaw Man anime, but I'll save that discussion until the rest of the show has aired. For now, I want to talk about why I, and I assume many others, have continued to watch it in the first place, that being the very solid first episode. The episode immediately shows its hand, setting the tone and subject matter well without resorting to a flash forward. That alone is commendable. It often takes shonen anime like this about 10 minutes to show the protagonist's backstory. Sometimes this can be justified, but a lot of the time it's some variation on, my family was killed, so now I will join the military to kill the monsters that did it. Hell's Paradise incites the viewer's curiosity first by starting with a scene of Gabimaru about to be beheaded. About half the episode consists of various attempts to execute him, interspersed with Sagiri, a visiting samurai, interrogating him about his past. The camera pans around a lot during these sequences, with each shot looking like it had a lot of effort put into it. A lot of this sequence is carried by the visuals. The best compliment I can give to this episode is that the visuals tell most of the story, with the dialogue being layered on top. The flashback shots show Gabimaru enveloped in total darkness, while his wife has rays of light shining on her. While a bit on the nose, this shows without really telling that he sees her as a bright spot to be treasured within a dark, grim world. I also love how Gabimaru's clothes get ripped up as the episode goes on. That kind of attention to detail, along with the sound design, give the execution attempts some real impact without resorting to something cheesy like a air blast after a punch, for example. The second half of the episode is a confrontation between Gabimaru and Sagiri, where it is made clear that she's actually strong enough to kill. All of his defenses are worn down, both emotionally and physically, and he finally admits that all he wants to do is live quietly with his wife. Despite appearing to be a total edgelord, what with all his monologuing about losing his will to live and general uncaring attitude, he's actually a heckin' wholesome boy. A decent fight between the ninja and the samurai is interspersed with flashbacks demonstrating his attachment to his wife. After it's established that he has a reason to live, the premise of the show is finally revealed. Gabimaru and a bunch of other condemned criminals are going to be sent to an island where the elixir of life is said to reside. The one to find it will be pardoned, and meanwhile there's some explanation of the island's mystery and danger, and I must commend the color choices as well here. The flowers from the island are so brightly colored compared to the drab and dull colors in the rest of the episode that it's downright unsettling and otherworldly. The cliffhanger is a shot of Gabimaru accepting the offer, leaving the viewer to wonder how it will play out from there. Seeing the resolve on his face compared to the cold apathy he's been expressing throughout the episode is a nice touch. Overall, the episode is paced similarly to the first episodes of Attack on Titan and Demon Slayer, where the first 10 minutes or so being an introduction to the protagonist through his backstory, and the second half of the episode sets up the main quest. Where it differs is a much stronger focus on the protagonist, which was refreshing for someone like me who thinks shonen anime often has pretty flimsy protagonists. This comes at the cost of world building, but it's definitely a worthwhile trade-off since it sets itself apart from many other shonens. Gabimaru himself, for being the focus of the episode, is a pretty cool protagonist for a show like this. He's not a kid who needs to get stronger, and nor is he an idealistic dope. The opening scene sets him up as a powerful character, and his monologuing gives off edgy dude vibes. However, it becomes clear that he's something of a fusion between two power fantasies. First, he's a powerful, uncaring, angsty ninja who has killed many people without remorse. On the other hand, his skills as a ninja got him recognized by the chief of the village, enough so that he was able to marry the chief's daughter. Gabimaru is a powerful, edgy dude, but he cares deeply about his wife, who is likable and cute. Both of these archetypes are very clear and understandable, raising questions about how they'll play off each other in the future. I also like that his wife's gentleness and kindness was what sparked a change in him. A lot of people, especially impressionable teens, can really benefit, I think, from positive examples in stories of how love can change us for the better. I also like that this means he won't be involved in any romantic subplots down the line. Take that, shippers. As much as I liked the episode, I did notice a few negatives that I should address. The animation quality is leagues ahead of Chainsaw Man's frequent CGI, which is enough on its own to be worthy of praise. However, on further examination, it's often quite choppy, with characters appearing to move a lot in between frames. It isn't a huge deal here, since there's not too much motion outside of the one fight between Gabimaru and Sagiri, but it doesn't bode too well for a series that will presumably lean pretty heavy on the action later on. I understand that it can be an artistic choice sometimes to have choppy animation, but I suspect that it's more a measure taken to cut costs by animating fewer frames. Another example is the moths flying around the candle right after the opening. They seem to teleport between a few positions, and it's kind of jarring and funny. The first episode of Hell's Paradise is a pretty unique and intriguing introduction that sets audience expectations for a unique and fresh take on the stagnated shonen action genre. While there are a few indications of potential issues down the line, the framing of the exposition makes the viewer curious before things are explained outright, the explanation is accompanied by engaging visuals, and the whole episode really gives off the sense that the people working on it really want to do justice to the source material. It's pretty kino.